What is the most creative insult you ever heard? You've got to stop using your head as just a container for your teeth. This reminds me of once that my boss said about someone. It seems that he only uses his head to get haircuts. This seems like constructive criticism to me. Not only does it have a message behind it, but it forces a not so bright person to figure out just what it means. On a similar note, one day my kid was standing around lost in her own world and my sister was trying to snap her out of it to go help do something. You just gonna stand there with your teeth in your mouth or what? You look like the kind of person who could fail a DNA test. Or better yet, I bet you couldn't even spell DNA. I bet you need a phone book to dial 911 inches. That boy couldn't pour piss out of a boot with the directions written on the heel. If you ate trash, it would be cannibalism. I was mad about a tweet. Was at a baseball game. Dude in the crowd yells to the batter, "I've seen better swings on a porch." I don't remember which sport I was watching, but a fellow crowd member shouted out, "If the ref had one more eye, he'd be a cyclops." Something I heard on Malcolm in the Middle, and it's seared in the back of my mind and I will use this against someone someday. I can't wait until then. In one episode Lois is out with her boys and their new neighbors. The neighbor kids were acting up and their mum wasn't doing anything about it, so Lois asked that mum to take care of her kids. To which that mum said, "Are you questioning my parenting?" Lois responded, "I don't know how I can. I haven't seen any. I'm just waiting to use it myself, smiley face." What a show. The burns and writing were just fantastic. Lois is the official patron deity of the moms of this century. I'm going to be a dad in February 2021 and I'm filing this away. Don't tell anyone, we haven't made an official announcement yet. I told someone. I held the door open for an old black woman at work one day. I am pasty white, and she looked at me dead in the eye and said, "Frick you mayonnaise monkey," and went through the door like I was not there. I had no freaking idea if that was an insult or how I should take it, so I had to go find a black co-worker to get a ruling. He died laughing and started calling his friends on speakerphone. I am haunted to this day. Well, at least you got a good story out of it, as well as a laugh from a friend and a few internet strangers. Mayonnaise monkey. According to Urban Dictionary, that's an insult toward whites. So, I mean, yay, what else would it mean, lol? I think the frick you part was pretty giving. Either that or she has a condiment fetish. You have room temperature IQ. I can't remember where it is from, but I say it all of the time. I've been called worse things by better people. Nice. Insulting the insult in the person. I bet when people ask your parents about you they change the subject. That's the kind of insult you have in your arsenal, but never use. I feel like if I said this to someone I would feel compelled to follow them around making sure they didn't harm themselves. You're right at the top of the bell curve, aren't you? Brilliant, because it sounds like a compliment. It's not really an insult either. It's at the top of the insult, compliment bell curve. It's a knockdown to someone who believes himself to be exceptional. You're really improving. If you keep putting in the effort you might make it to the top of the bell curve. A quote from Firefly. I'm guessing you weren't burdened with an overabundance of schooling. My days of not taking you seriously are certainly coming to a middle. I'm mighty partial to this one. Jane, your mouth is talking. You might wanna look to that. Nandi. If they got guns, and brains at all. Inara. They got guns. Neutrinos don't go through you, do they? You're more useless than Anne Frank's drum kit. I've always found the insult "you're not being the person Mr. Rogers knew you could be" tends to calm people down and make people reflective. No one wants to let down Mr. Rogers. You're the human version of Internet Explorer. Or as heard on Community, you're the Ed and T of people. I'm only 5 feet 4 inches tall. When I was a sophomore in high school I approached this girl I liked and asked her out and she responded with, "I wouldn't be caught dead with someone tall enough to be the guy who stands on top of a trophy." I think you dodged a bullet. She sounds like she went on to marry and divorce some guy who was glad to give up his house just to be rid of her. She sure didn't want a trophy husband. 8 boys, we can pack it up. This man here won Reddit. My husband of 12 years, best friend and live of my life, is shorter than me. Believe me, shallow is worse than short. Supposedly Harlan Ellison, the short sci-fi author, once tried his luck being direct and crude to a stacked hottie at an event. What would you say to a little freak? I'd say hello, little freak. Some guy was mocking me for looking young, so I told him I'd rather have baby face than a face that looks like smoked salmon. He got pissed, but his mate stopped him and said no, that's fair. No, he's got a point. Kronk. My cousin came up with this one. It's I know life is in first person, but you're definitely a background character. Why hasn't natural selection bred you out yet? Who pissed in your gene pool? Your nose is so large you could smoke a cigarette in the shower. My brother. Mum to a car that pulled out without indicating. Your dad should have pulled out first. I do desire us to be better strangers. Shakespeare. Honestly, any line by Billy Shakes is good. Much Ado About Nothing is filled with barbs. Gordon Ramsay, you're so full of it you'd make a great politician. His daddy must have jacked off into a flower pot cause he's a blooming idiot. Guy at loading dock. Today, 2020. If you were any dumber you would have to be watered twice a week. At least a potato can power a light bulb. David Letterman. I'm not as dumb as I look. Tina Fey. Yeah, how could you be? Talk to him like the professional that he is. But talk slow and use small words. Gladys from Portal about Weathley. He's not just a regular moron. He's the product of the greatest minds of a generation working together with the express purpose of building the dumbest moron who ever lived. And you just put him in charge of the entire facility. I love Portal. I hope Valve learns to count to 3. I was at a baseball game and an ambulance drove by with full lights and sirens. A fan of one of the teams yelled to the opposing pitcher, "You hear that ambulance? It's coming for you, because you're choky-eyeing. You're so boring, if you were a spice you would be flour. You're either an excellent actor or a huge moron. It's amazing how the room lightens up when you leave. Either a kick in the balls or a chromosome will do you good." Bit offensive. Sorry. No wonder your parents try to switch subjects every time you come up. If I wanted to listen to an ALA, I would have farted. My co-worker was being his usual narcissistic I'm so cool and tough self, and telling some story about him getting a blowjob from a super hot and totally real babe. And I said, how hard did she have to pull to get you to stop sucking your own dong? I realize even using myself as an answer makes me sound narcissistic myself. But that's the only example I can think of. It isn't often you can fire off the perfect zinger. Be proud of your accomplishment. 100 million sperm and you're the one who made it? You should have been used for stem cell research. Well, someone had just been really mean to me in a group chat. After about a second, my now ex-boyfriend said, "Nobody asked your opinion, you hairy asparagus. Insulter wears green a lot." And everyone else just lost it. I thought we were all gonna die laughing. I bet your family tree looks like a family ladder. I had to process that one. You're as beautiful as you are wise. You're so fake even China denied they made you. You're lying. Dog face pony soldier. Sack of pooly package horset. A Jamaican woman called me a niglet once. Found Donald Glover's username. You stuck up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf header. From Letterkenny. What do we say about arguing with idiots? They'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. You're like a dumb doorbell that doesn't know its ding from its dong. Everybody needs love, you just have to pay for it. You are the load I should have busted on your mother's chest. Overheard in line at a college entrance exam. From a father to his son. My friend and I looked at my ex's social media to see the new girl he was dating. My friend said wow, he had to dig really deep into the Walmart dollar DVD bin to find that piece of work. I dispute that point with you, but mama always told me it's not nice to have a battle of wits with an unarmed man. Someone here on Reddit a few days ago called a poorly raised child a sperm pet. I am still trying to use this one somewhere else. They can fill a library with things you don't know. They do, and they call them libraries. The Sandlot. If my dog was as ugly as you, I would paint a face on its butt and teach it to walk backwards. He could get a boner, walk into the wall, and break his nose. Or, I'm not saying she's ugly, but if she gave birth I wouldn't want one of the puppies. Thanks for watching the Reddit Radio. If you liked this video, please subscribe and click the like button. Click the top video to see my latest upload, and the bottom video is a random selection pick to interest you.